Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up. My computer just had a disaster there for a second. Hold on, I gotta make sure we're live. I think we are. I think we're good. Hold on. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. There we go. All right, folks. I think we're live. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Hold on. All right, let's see. Can you guys hear me over here? We good? Are we good, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday. Happy 4th of July week. Welcome back, everybody. Wasn't not able to stream Friday with you guys, but oh my god, what an absolutely epic way to end the week with all of you guys. I mean, we've got a lot of to talk about on the trade front, and then also a lot of these developments that have been happening with the broad market here. We have a boatload of opportunity moving forward here over the next couple of weeks as well, especially with the markets trading at all-time highs, guys. Again, we got through that little bit of a hiccup there with the escalation in the Middle East. The market is now really going to be focusing in on all of these new developments with these trade deals if we do get an extension, and then also a lot of these rate cut expectations that are going to be starting to move around a little bit as we get closer to this July FOMC meeting. So, again, guys, it is that time of day again. Say good morning to somebody in the live chat. If you guys would like to say good morning to me, would love to receive some good mornings over here. If you guys are new to the group, new to the stream, let me know. I'd love to welcome you guys in here. You guys can't tell, I am sick today, but I'm still streaming with you guys, trying to get some info out for everybody. Should still be able to get a YouTube video out for you guys today too, but I might be a little bit slower today. So, team, again, make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in. Let's see if we can hit that 100 like goal today. That would be absolutely epic. There's not really a whole lot of news coming out so far. We did see some comments from Bessett coming out, from Hassett. We have Hassett declines to comment on whether he'd be Fed chair. Trump has strong views. Fed could lower the interest rate. Again, support coal, natural gas, and nuclear for AI power. So not a whole lot in terms of just overall news coming out today. Trump will sign executive order on Monday relating to easing sanctions on Syria. But guys, oh my god, look at SoFi here, ladies and gentlemen. If only there was somebody that was just screaming from the rooftops in every single YouTube video about this weekly breakout on SoFi here. Now, again, my short-term targets for everybody were in the 17s. That's where I thought we were going to go, see what happens for a couple of weeks, and then maybe go up and break those 52-week highs here. But we are just ripping through a lot of these targets here. We are almost at 19 right now, ladies and gentlemen, on SoFi. So congratulations, especially for all of you guys that have been in the Less Trades, More Profits community with me when I gave you guys SoFi last July at $6.55. So I actually think it was like right around 4th of July too. Yeah, July 10th. So in a little bit less than a year, guys, I mean, if we just go down and just look at, so I know I own this at 655, so let's just do this quick, 55. Where are we at right now in just a year of holding this one? Up almost 188% on SoFi there. Absolutely epic return in just a year. Again, I still think this one has a lot of awesome things that they're going to be able to accomplish in the future. But this has been a big winner for us so far over the last year. There, you got exercise on Datadog. Nice, Daniel. Wow, great work. Yeah, Datadog was another really, really epic move there. And then, so for those of you guys that have been paying attention to some of the trades that I've been calling out for you guys, that move on Friday on ARM was absolutely epic. I was able to trim even more of the position, over 300%. I sold the rest of it this morning on the private stream with the group at probably the 250% range, so that's a good one. But we're looking at these charts, guys. There are a lot of really, really solid setups that we have to look forward to over the next couple of weeks here. But again, as always, I'm going to be very picky on what I decide to take. So you guys will get a little bit of a glimpse here on what we're looking for, but all of that is going to be within the private community there. So again, I told you guys, oh, actually, all right, I'll give you guys a little bit of a gift here. We're going to unpin this. Technically, it is still June. So I'll give you guys the June code for one last day to get 50% off your first 2 months to the group. For July, you're only going to get your first month for 50% off. So here's that link here with kind of the new message. Let's see. Use code June. There you go. That'll get you your first 2 months for 50% off there. Also, you guys are slacking on the like button today. But yeah, SoFi looking epic there. Snuck up there really close to 19, was not quite able to get it. Well, let's see what we get today, folks. Not a whole lot of news happening, so we're probably going to be on here for a little while here with everybody, going through things. Again, as always, you guys have any questions about anything, trading, investing, the market, anything, that's what I'm here for. That's why I do these streams with you guys, to help and make sure that you guys have all of the, or just making sure that things are clear to you in the market so that you can go forward and make better decisions in the short term to set yourselves up for long-term success. I do really like where yields are right now too, moving to the downside. Again, that first move, we really wanted to see it get under 4.3. We're at 4.27 basically right now in the 10-year, which is a good area to be. I'd obviously like to see this down at 4. The one thing that people aren't realizing, though, is that when like Trump comes out and talks about like Powell lowering interest rates, what they're saying is that like, oh, if Powell lowers interest rates, Treasury yields are going to go down. Treasury yields can move independent from what the Fed does. Like we saw that many times. Like, but back in here when the 10-year was at like 3.6, if you wanted the 10-year to actually stay at those lower levels, the Fed did not need to cut. The Fed cutting has a lot of other different effects than just trying to get like Treasury yields down. You can't just then expect, oh, because the Fed is cutting, we're just going to see interest rates on U.S. debt go down. That's not always how it works, and that's why I made this call on the bond market down in here that we were most likely at the top in bonds, bottom in yields. So kind of similar thing up here too, but a little bit different. Weekly dividend ETFs, I'd have to look at them to see how they look and move, but like there's always a trade-off with them. Like when you look at some of those, there's always going to be a trade-off. You always have to look at the total return with those, not just the dividend yield, you know? So, and it depends. Like QDTE, they're probably selling 0 DTE options against, it's a synthetic call position, so they're probably doing some interesting. What's going on with UPST right here? That's interesting. Oh, it's the market getting nuked. So it depends on what the total return of it actually is and where they're selling the call, how they're doing that. You know, like there's a lot of different variables you have to account for. That's not something that I have in my portfolio. I just don't really see the need for it. But I get why people like them for the income. But you always have to focus on the total return, not just, oh, I'm getting a giant dividend, you know? We're getting some news here, I think. Hold on. White House will restart negotiations with Canada immediately. I don't know why the market's going to be selling on that, but that's interesting. Because you did see that news come out, what was it, Friday, that we talked about in the YouTube video that, what do you call it? That we were going to see, it had to do with like software services or something that Canada was tariffing and Trump didn't like that. And then Canada rolled that back over the weekend. Options income ETF ran out of credits in your cloud account. You had some questions for me? Yeah, just shoot me a message, Daniel. Just shoot me a message. I'll help you out with that stuff. Yeah, market's getting whacked here a little bit. Again, I would expect this week to be a little bit of a slower week anyway, too, with 4th of July on Friday and a short week in general. This is doing exactly what we wanted to do. There we go. ARM's actually pulling back up, so I could have held that one, but being up so much on that, and this is one that I gave you guys completely for free on the streams here. Congratulations to everybody that nailed this one. Again, you hit that trade right there. That probably pays for the next year, 2 years. Of your subscription to the Less Trades, More Profits community there with us. So you only need one. But yeah, let's see. Ooh, you guys are slacking big time on the like button today. Uh-oh. Was everybody sleepy on a Monday? Let's see here. Yeah, we got that 100 like goal. Let's see if we can hit it today. Yeah, I'm not sure where the markets would be selling on that Hassett stuff. Hassett will, White House will restart negotiations with Canada immediately. I would take that as bullish news. That is a positive development for markets because what did we see Friday? They were going to be ending negotiations with Canada. And obviously that's not good for any further progress on trade deals. Bastin says there will be a flurry of trade deals going into the final week before the July 9th deadline, which is this week and next week. Return on capital that's factored into the payments. Return of capital? Well, it will. No. That number shouldn't go to 0. It's just talking to you about a return. Oh, return of capital? I'd have to look. Sometimes they're different, Daniel. I'd have to look at the specific one. They're returning capital based on what they're able to like use the capital for, you know? So it's like if I were to go out and just start selling covered calls, Well, it's possible that I could technically return all of my capital to myself, but like over time after selling enough calls, you know? So interesting movement out of the market here off of this Canada news. There could be something else brewing here that we're just not seeing yet. Ooh, hold on. Yeah, it's interesting too with the comments that Bessent has made recently compared to what the comments he was making before the election as it relates to like what Janet Yellen was doing in the short end of the yield curve. I still think Janet Yellen probably made a decent mistake selling those bonds at the short end of the yield curve, which basically just means selling U.S. debt with like short time to maturity, so like a year, 2 years, 6 months. The problem isn't necessarily, the problem wouldn't have come with like what Janet Yellen would have done on the other side, which is like selling longer term debt at like 10 year, like selling 10 years at like 1-2%. The problem would have come from like banks and like financial institutions and everybody else buying that debt because of the mark to market issue. So it creates an opportunity for like bank runs, which is kind of where the Silicon Valley Bank situation started to occur. Because you saw interest rates rip so much from the lows that like obviously they did not have that capital. They would have if they held to maturity, but you see what I'm saying? It's like she could have done that a little bit better, but then the question is, would people have actually bought? Where would they have actually gone? Would there just been a crazy high demand for short-term debt? And then also like even if you were to try and stack everything in the long end, you might have just ballooned rates on the long end anyway because there would be a lot less demand, you know? So it's kind of this like, looking in hindsight, we don't know what would have happened. Sofi still looking phenomenal. Palantir I think is doing all right today after that move to the downside here. I saw a lot of comments on my YouTube video that was just like, oh, this is just rebalancing. It's like, all right, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But when you look at this chart right here, this is not a bullish look at all. 0% bullish. You can have any news that you want on this thing, but that chart does not look good at all on Palantir. And again, with such a stretched valuation that it is currently commanding out of the market right now, this is still one that I would say it's not one that you buy, it's not one that you short, it's one that you sit back, relax, and just enjoy the gains that I've given you guys from the 15 range. That's really all you can do with that one at this point. But yeah, today is also the last day to get 50% off your first 2 months to the group, guys. I mean, you guys have seen the results that I've handed out over the last 2 months here. Just in the last 2 months, I mean, those are life-changing gains. So for those of you guys that are still ready, waiting to hop in, today's the last day for that 50% off your first 2 month deal. Let's see. Soundhound, another one from this morning that's looking pretty good here. Good for you guys that are in that one. Again, I'm just being picky. After the performance that we've had, I'm just being very picky. Where's Snow? Yeah, this one I think we could get a nice little burst on here. It is a little bit more extended than some other names, but looking at this from like a longer, like looking at the big picture here, this one still has a lot of room to the upside. Where's oil today? Yields are up a little. Yeah, oil right back down. This is, again, what we were talking about last week. It's like once oil starts running like this and getting that volatile, you don't touch it. There are certain things, guys, and certain instances and scenarios that happen in the market that should trigger you, which most people it's going to trigger them to go, oh no, or they're going to say, oh, I need to be active in this. But for us, it's almost always going to tell us to just stay far, far away. Selling puts on bull is paying. Oh, I bet it is. Where is that thing? 1139. Yeah, I kind of like this one. I mean, that's an interesting setup here. We've been outlining this one for you guys over the last couple weeks here. I don't know. I should probably do some work on this one this week. I won't have time this weekend, but this week should be an interesting one for this name, especially if you can break like 1177 there. That one could get really moving to the upside. Especially with Hood moving the way that it is. I'm pretty sure Hood hit new all-time highs today. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, market's not doing a whole lot today. I really wouldn't expect it to do a whole lot this week, unless, obviously, we get really positive trade deals. You know, I don't really think we have too much economic data coming out this week either. You get ADP unemployment. That could get interesting. Job openings tomorrow. Oh, just kidding. We have NFP Thursday. That'll be interesting. If you see any weakness in the labor market, the market might sell initially on that, but it's going to really increase the rate cut expectations. And the market's going to like that as a whole. Jimmy! What's up, buddy? Yeah, SoFi. Really, really moving nicely there. I mean, where is it now? Is it cracking 19 yet? It's close, man. 1870. Whew. That thing's been on a ripper. If only somebody had told you guys about that weekly breakout. You know, if only somebody was sitting here every day saying, hey, watch the weekly breakout on SoFi. And again, guys, as you guys are filtering in here too, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Costs you nothing to do. It helps me out a whole lot. We've got that 100 like goal. You guys are slacking today. You guys are slacking today. But we'll see. We'll see if you guys can turn it around here. But yeah, really, really fun. But this week, just going to make sure we're doing everything that we need to do to continue on the absolute tear that we've been on. And, guys, we're about to be getting into earnings season, too. The earnings season is some of my favorite times of the year to trade. I can't wait. You guys that are getting in there watching the post-earnings strategy video, you hit one of those, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to do this forever. None of the other nonsense. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm just going to do the post-earnings. Like, I can't wait for those. Those are going to be a lot of fun. So Trump's got to sign this, the new tax bill? Isn't he screwing Elon again? Like, they took away the EV credit and then are also initiating like a $250 a year tax. That's kind of crazy. What else are we looking at this morning? Yeah, like, where'd Starbucks? How's that looking? Yeah, nothing there. What else? Soundhound looking great. Look at this beast go. There you go. Another one that you guys were bringing up here that, again, isn't one that I would want to, like, hold, but it is one that we were looking for those trade setups in here. Boom. There's another one for you. There's another one. Where did Amazon end up going, actually? Nothing. This was a really fun one. Friday at open. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We had Amazon and ARM just print for us, guys. Simple as that. It's not that hard. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Dude, I need to, like, not be sick. That's really what we need to do. We need to figure out how to not be sick. Which, I think by tomorrow I'll be fine. President Trump reveals his plans for U.S. trade partners. Ooh. You bought shares of SoundHound already up 2%? Nice. That was yesterday, though. Sending letters to trade partners. Yeah, that's just getting reiterated through the news feed. SoFi, though. Dude, congratulations, everybody. This has been just an epic one to be in. I think this one's got some big potential over the next few years. Orange juice. I told you guys about the mixing apple and orange juice trick. That's a good one. I don't know. This is like me, like, getting run down. This isn't like actually sick. This is like fake sick. Ryan, I don't know how you've done that. Please go to the hospital. Please go to the hospital. If you have to sell your SoFi at over 500% from listening to me on the weekly breakout, you do that. But go to the hospital, dude. Go feel better. I feel bad for laughing right now. But, like, that was not what I was expecting to see in the live chat just now. I hope, Ryan, go to the hospital if you can. Sorry for laughing. I can't. Sorry. All right, go to the hospital, please. All right, market's trying to work its way back up here, but very, very, very slow action out of the market here. It's just getting worked down slowly. Yeah, Webull looks interesting, like very interesting down here. Dude, that BBAI move is kind of nutty. Yeah, don't screw around with that. Go to the hospital. You're not going to miss any trades. Don't worry. What else are we looking at? Where's Hims today? Yeah, Hims guys still not out of the woodwork yet. Not out of the woodwork yet. You got to see what the actual kind of where the dust settles with this Novo Nordisk dust, which I don't think is going to be that big of a deal for Hims. But actually, where is Novo today? Is that holding on here? Or is that coming down? Oh no, Novo looks good today. Trying to get back up to 70. Oh, that's good. That's good. UPST flying all over the place. I'm hunting this one. I'm hunting snow. Ooh, I didn't want that, but yeah, I'm hunting snow here. This could be a very fun one. Apple's another one. Guys, Apple's got a hold here. If Apple does not hold, we're not going to be looking at this one anymore. You really got to hold Apple off here. All right, this. Oh, I can't drink this right now. Nope. After the stream. It's in a giant. I like an electrolyte drink in a giant mug. Yeah. Apple, I am very interested in, but this has to hold the 10 here. I mean, it's fine if it wicks, it comes back up, but like with this type of setup, I'd want it to look a little bit better for me to want to get interested in it. You know, oil down again today. Yeah, every short-term target got blasted through on Sofi, which is epic. How are we looking now? 1870. Where did we hit? 1892. Did we get back into the 20s on Sofi? We're going to be in business, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I like how this is starting to look here. Yeah, and then where did Oracle end up going? Yeah, so guys, this is another very interesting. I think a lot of you guys that are either new or considering kind of getting active in the market or just kind of getting through those like typical beginner mistakes that a lot of people make. Oracle right here is a great example and great illustration of this. So again, we were looking at an Oracle breakout here at right around 216.85, 217 here for a nice post-earnings consolidation, basically continuation play off of that post-earnings consolidation there. You guys all know I already nailed Oracle for over 1,000% on that post-earnings move. But what a lot of people will do, especially when they're new, they'll see these types of gap ups here and they'll buy them. I do most of the time the exact opposite with what the masses are going to be doing, which is again why we're going to end up having so much more success than like the general population, because they're all going to fly in and do the same exact thing, and we're always going to sit back and use just like our logical reasoning skills to say, okay, what is actually the smartest thing to do here? With Oracle, when we have a level that says if we're interested in a breakout at right around 217 and it gaps to 226, you don't touch it. You leave it alone. This is why when I talk about with these moves with you guys all the times, it's like I sell gap ups all the time. Now, some of you guys front ran it a little bit and were already in Oracle. And I said to you guys in the morning when you guys were asking me, you were like, oh, I don't know if I should sell or hold Oracle. And it's like, well, if you have to ask that question, you already know the answer. This is a gift that the market is giving you from the market. It's like, imagine if somebody were to hand you a bunch of money right now and you're like, wait, should I just like take it or just like wait for somebody else to come along and give me a bunch of money? It's like, no, take the money. Take it. They're offering it to you. It's right in front of you right there. Take it. You know? And a lot of people are going to make this type of mistake where they're just like, oh, we see the level, it gaps way above. Oh, no, it's above the level. We buy it. No, 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 no. Because then you end up in a situation like this, where you buy it at open. Oh yeah, it's up $2 from where? Nope, dead. Just be careful with stuff like that, guys. Don't be over here just trying to chase things. You never, ever, ever chase. When LTMP hedge fund, Dude, I mean, you guys have seen the long-term positions that I've given out to you guys. There's only one that is not in the green right now. It's Neo. That's it. Just joined but can't figure out where to go from there. Kim, so here's what you do. So when you hop in and you go through the WAP payment processor, the only thing that you have to do is make sure that your Discord account is connected to your WAP account, and it's going to automatically put you in there. And then you're good to go. I do have this one. That's good. Guilty? How many times have I said this to you guys? Bardisas. See, you at this point, I would say you have no excuse to be making that type of mistake because you've been around for long enough and you've heard me talk about these moves so often. And the thing is in a lot of that chasing and that bad behavior comes from a lack of a full understanding of what we're actually doing in the market. You guys should probably all know at this point that if I miss something or you miss a trade or something fires off, there's going to be 10 more coming very, very, very soon that are going to be equally as good or not better. There's never a reason to try and chase into something, ever. There's always another epic setup coming. Sometimes you have to wait longer than others, but there's always another really good high probability setup coming. And those are the ones that we're waiting for. Because if it gaps like this, it's now no longer a setup that I want. It's not meeting our criteria. Just logically, it's like, okay, well, if we want to buy a break at 216, but it's at 226, that now no longer meets our criteria to long. Because ideally, what we would have wanted, this is a good way to think about it. If we had broken 217 and then ran up intraday to 226, would you have bought it there? The answer in every scenario is no, you obviously would not buy it there, so then why would you then do it if there's a gap? It doesn't change. It's just the same thing. It's like, well, okay, well, if we would have bought it here, why would we want to buy it at that? It's similar to hymns, too. It's like, well, if I like it at 30, why would I buy it at 60? I would just buy it at 30 when I like it, you know? Right, exactly. I want Apple to hold here because I think this one could get very interesting for us. Let's see. Oh, you guys are coming back on the like button today. All right, I see ya. We've got a 100 like goal. We're about a quarter of a way to the like goal, guys. Let's see if we can hit it today. What do we got in community gains here? Oh, 320%. There you go. I know Eddie was front running Oracle a little bit there, but that's great. Eddie, congratulations, buddy. Let's see. Love where Sofi is. Where's Facebook? Facebook looking good today too. Where's my baby? AMD is looking to give us a setup over the next couple weeks here. Be on the lookout for this. This is going to be one that I'm going to start watching. Sometimes these take time to develop too. So this could be like mid-June we start looking for AMD again. But again, you could also just have one day where it just goes vertical and we're like, okay, not looking at it anymore. MicroStrategy looking to set up. Yeah, it is. The one thing that I don't like about a lot of these like crypto stocks and the miners and everything now is that like 2 years ago they were so much fun to trade. Like that's when we were able to nail, like every single time I gave you guys a Mara trade, it was like, all right, get ready for a potential big multi-thousand percenter. It was because they would start to go like with Bitcoin, but a little bit more. They would get a little bit more juice from the market. Now they don't, and the option chains are kind of terrible. Thank you. I've learned a lot from you and the whole LTMP community. Eddie, appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, love having you in there. But yeah, I just am not in love with trading those miners and those crypto stocks these days. Nvidia looking to set up too. Yeah, give that one a few days. Baba, let's see how this looks. Nah, I mean, Baba's near the 200. You've kind of got this nice triple bottom here, which we'll see what happens, but again, this isn't one that I would look to take advantage of here. There's just nothing on the chart there that I want, you know? it's getting there. I mean, you flatline a little bit here, you shift back to the upside, you could have some interesting action, but I wouldn't be looking for that now. Yeah, I mean, good. For those of you guys that were in Oracle, great work. Or if you were in the ARM trade, or the NVIDIA trade, or the Tesla trade, or the, what else? The other Oracle trade? The Datadog trade? Like when I list these two, they're at least multi 100%ers. And then there's the Oracle that was over 1,000%, which was great. So again, I'll throw the link in the live chat for you guys right here too. Today is the last day to get 50% off your first 2 months to the group. It's literally only $1 a day, guys. Make sure you guys use code June to get that discount. I thought it was July 1st today. It's not. And yeah, the Amazon trade, that was another really good one. Shares work too. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah, Amazon was a really good one. PayPal, yeah, another one that's looking pretty good here. Oops. UPST just got whacked. That's no fun. So it's a strong month for him, seeing the setup and then taking it. Is it? Yeah. I mean, I just want it to hold the 10. Let's see. What do we got here? What's the distance here? Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the best part about what we do is every single potential setup that we look for is the potential to run big. That's why everybody's able to have so much success. Because the winners are so much bigger than any potential losers that we're going to have. Yeah, Chipotle, another one, looking really good here too off of that break, 55.32. SMCI looking good. Yeah, I gave you guys this weekly breakout here too, from right here. I think it was this break. I mean, it could have been this one too, this 47.80, but it's looking good. Would I touch it now? No. The breakout was 47.80. But yeah, it looks good. The only thing is you're going into earnings and this thing gets a little funky, so you just gotta be careful with them. Shares on CMG and SoundHound both looking great. Shares are so much less stressful for you. Yeah, they're a lot less stressful. Because once you set up the risk, it's like, okay. And the risk to reward is almost... The only time the risk to reward is not better is on the post-earnings trades. Every other time, it's almost 100% of the time. The trading shares is going to give you a better risk to reward than options. Yeah, ES is in a really tight range here. It's just not doing anything. Like, there's no news coming out. It's a holiday week. Like, there's not a real reason for this market to start moving crazy in any direction right now. Later this week, like Thursday, we could get some big action with NFP, non-farm payrolls. Other than that, though, I wouldn't expect a whole lot out of this thing this week. You just keep kind of back testing this area. I mean, you flip above, what is that, 62.43-ish? You can flip a little bullish on the market, getting up to pre-market highs. Other than that, though, I think it probably just chops around for a while. You know, just chopping around. It's peaking a little. It's peaking up a little here. That BBAI move is still looking good. Again, guys, there's so many of these. Take profit and stop loss in the same trade. Yeah, I do like that about Webull too. Well, yeah, the stop loss take profit orders are very nice. I do like that. Yeah, very, very tight range here on the market. Yeah, I don't see anything on the feet. Very slow in terms of news. Nothing going on. Come on. Besson's over here breaking out the extra vocabulary today of countries recalcitrant. Tariffs could go back up. So they're kind of being a little firmer on their stance on trade, but not really. I'm going to give this a little room to breathe. Do I see SoFi moving too quick for... I mean, it is going vertical. But, I mean, those 52-week high breakouts are usually pretty good. But at the same time, it's like, this is just kind of me being a bystander in this. Like, I'm not taking any action with my SoFi position. Like, SoFi could go from 18 to 12, and I would not care. I would buy more at 12. This is not one, and a lot of these, like, names that I go into, guys... I'm not looking to do anything with them for a very long period of time. I'm looking to buy them, hold them, and if the thesis ends up changing with it, then I'll act. But again, short term on SoFi, you've already gotten the move to the upside. For those of you guys that took advantage of the trade on SoFi in the weekly breakout, yeah, this is now the time that you want to start taking profits off of the table on it. But other than that, it's like just... They've got their user growth goals. They're bringing crypto back. They're doing everything that they need to do to have success. There's nothing to do here from a investment perspective on this. You just leave it be. Plus, remember, I own it at 655. It's like, why would I? I'm not going to touch anything on it. There's just no reason to. It's like if it gets to 20 in the next month, great. If it goes back down to 15, cool. It's not changing anything for me, you know? A lot of people think way too short term in the market. They're like, what happens if it goes to 10 right now? It's like, all right, well, I'll buy more. You know, like, unless the reason why it were to drop would be like a thesis changing reason. But if it's like macro or something stupid happens, it's like, no, I'm not doing anything. Duck? Yeah, I can take a look at Duck. A lot of those utilities. All right, I wouldn't trade this. You got a very interesting look here. It's just like down flat on top of the 200. I would say this is 50-50. You break to the upside of 118, you could get moving a little bit. I typically only go for like utilities in very certain market environments where it makes sense to. This is not one of them. I think this is where this is the market where I'll focus on the names that can like become the high flyers, like a UPST, a Snow, those types of things. Like I would not be looking to trade utilities with a market that's breaking out to all-time highs. Because there's just going to be better opportunities out there in other sectors, you know? So, like, again, first step is identifying, well, this isn't really the setup, but just in general, first step is being able to identify, for the short-term trades, what we're looking for, how the charts need to look in order to get us interested. And then the second step is saying, okay, with all of the context that we have in the market, where is actually the places that we actually want to be looking for closely to take trades? And that's one of the reasons why you guys see me a lot just be like, yeah, I'm just not interested. It's a good setup, but I'm just not going to go near it. Because I'd rather just sit in cash and wait for the ones that can really get going fast. You know? Chipotle's still looking good. I might get Chipotle today. Thinking about it. Yeah, 62.43. You could flip a little bullish on this. I mean, that would be a little shift of trend here. There's not really any big volatility zones either that we've seen recently. You know? I'd like to see UPSC get back above 66. That'd be nice. That one can easily become a high flyer very quickly. Rinse and repeat on HIMS? What do you mean? I mean, I've been trying to tell people this one is not out of the woods yet. Like, yeah, it bounced from these low levels here, but like this is not, like, yeah, you got that move to the downside, but I mean, I would rather buy it down sub 40. With these shocks that get introduced to the market, again, everybody usually is like, oh, I need to act now. And the big shocks that happen in the market are almost 99% of the time where you just want to do nothing and wait till the dust settles and then make your decisions after that. Especially if you already own it. It's like, all right, well, what are you going to do with it? You're going to sell it? No, because you should already have a thesis. Now, the Novo Nordisk stuff can be thesis changing for some people. Like, if some people's expectations were like, oh, these deals with Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly, were going to be a significant driver of revenue moving forward, and then that revenue is now no longer going to be included in some of these projections, which can, again, decrease their multiples as well. Like, okay, that could be thesis changing. DraftKings. This one's setting up again. Yeah, I mean, I gave you guys this one a few weeks ago. That was another epic move. So, yeah, DraftKings is going to be one that we continue watching for here as well. I mean, I could actually set up alert here. If this were to break today's high today, I wouldn't touch it. But, like, later on this week, I would definitely be interested in something like DraftKings. That's a really good-looking setup. Really looking good there. Coming after the market again. They don't like it. What did we just get? Tesla. Deutsche Bank reiterates a buy on Tesla, sees Q2 delivery miss. Price target 345, but sees Q2 delivery miss. Forecast 355,000 versus the street 380, down 20% year over year. EU weak. North America stable. China down 9%. Yeah, again, Tesla's a car company. Tesla's not one that I want to hold. I'm trying to find them. Yeah, I think some of them. I mean, Garrett, if you're in the group, look in the watch list section. There's a lot of them. There is a lot in there, man. And there's going to be more this week if this market continues acting the way that it is, especially with this flatness that we're seeing today. So, it's just a waiting game right now. That's all we're doing. Wait around for more epic setups that are going to form. More 300%ers, 500%ers to form. You guys that are hopping in, though, are coming in at literally the perfect time, especially that we're getting into earnings season with a market that looks the way that it does right now. It's like you guys are in for a treat. A real treat. Yeah, it's just tight range, though, here. Like, that looks big, but it's like, what, 4 points? 6 points? It's nothing. Like, this 15-minute chart today is like, the movements on it are like the size of like 1 minute candle, usually, what we've seen with all the volatility that we've had over the last 3 months here. So, not a great candle here on the S&P. Where's Sofi? Still looks great. Yeah, where's Palantir? Is Palantir selling? Yeah, I mean, it's up. Got a nice gap up after that move, but can you still get the 50% off for 2 months if we do it today? Yeah, today's the last day for it. Make sure you use code June. But yeah, today is the last day to do that. BBAI still holding really well there. Nice. On BA? I mean, it's going to be the same stuff I always... No, you don't want any of that. That's just like it fish hooked. Like, that's off of news. You don't want any of that. That's not a break. I mean, this is a... You're forming a head and shoulders on this thing, but this is not one that you would want to go near. You know? You've just got big gap down, flat line. Like, I would have actually been looking for this one. If it broke to the downside, you could have easily seen a move down to the 200. This was a very bearish looking chart that they probably got saved with some news. That's probably what happened here. So we're not looking to go into things that are going to get saved by news, you know? That's not what we're looking for. This is not looking good here, though, in the market. But also, it's not like there's anything big dragging this down right now. It just looks like a slow drain on a holiday week. I would assume the volumes are really low. But again, it's still kind of early in the day to decide, which is why we were talking about the... Yeah, there's nothing. Nobody's doing anything right now. TMO. Again, though, it's like Thermo Fisher. Yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. 415. That does look very interesting. Good spot there. So that's like, I mean, you could look at this as just a nice base in here, but this is also just like a setup within a setup. Like, the weekly probably is basing. Yeah. You're just rejecting off of the 10. So the break is actually above the 10, which I like. I like that. Like, this could be one that I get, like, long dated on. Gordon, that's what it is normally. But with the 50% off, it's $30 for your first 2 months. It's $1 a day. Also, I probably should charge way more than I do normally because of just the amount of just epic things we do in there. So prices are probably going to go up at some point too, but not for anybody that's in it, you know? You guys that hop in are always going to stay at whatever rate that you're at. Think about it. You get both the full-length educational course curriculum videos, the private live streams every single day, the full watch list of stocks and cryptos that are about to explode before they do, the macro research reports, the pre-market plans, the single stock research reports, the weekly market research reports, which there probably won't be any for this week, last weekend, and this week, just because it's holiday week. But the amount of stuff in there, the amount of value that's in there is more than I think anybody else on the internet will ever or just can provide, just because like most people don't know what they're doing, you know? Not a good look here after this candle. So we'll see what happens with ES, but DG. Yeah, DG still looks really interesting here. Yeah, it's tight. There should be no discount. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just nice to you guys. So after July, there probably won't be any more discounts ever again. I had a $4,000 Friday, mostly from size for zeros that came back to life, so that take care of a couple months. Take the plunge, you won't regret it. Romeo, shout out to you, buddy. Yeah, I know. I mean, I try to show you guys all the time just the amount of results that we have from the people in the group, that you guys see it on the streams, the trades fired off. And just I think how I analyze markets is very different than most people, which is, again, you want to have different results than everybody else in the market, you got to think and act differently than everybody else. TMO I like here, though. Market's not looking too hot here, though. This is not good. This is like the buyers better step up and save this one if they don't want it to leak hard aggressively. But yeah, that link's at the top of the live chat. Use code June. Snow's coming back to life? Is it now? Yeah, I still like that one. You snooze, you lose. Don't pass up on LTMP. Eddie, shout out to you, buddy. Yeah, read the reviews. Very highly reviewed for a reason. But, yeah, I like this. I mean, I'd be all right with taking this break today if it were to fire off. I just don't like how the market looks here. You know, not a big fan. Yeah, you're about $1 away. A little more on snow. Euro extends gains versus USD new 2025 high. Ooh. That's not what you want. Well, I mean, it almost doesn't really matter right now. You're just seeing rotation of capital in global markets. Which now that we've broken all-time highs on the S&P, this is now when you can start to maybe think about the dollar bottoming. As people start to realize that they're going to need to continue to have increased exposure to U.S. equities. Or at least more exposure than they had before. Because they were all decreasing their exposure in the first and almost second quarter, too, of 2025. Let's see. And then, yeah, as you guys are filtering in here, too, make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Let's see. We have that 100 like goal. We're at 34 right now. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it today, but you guys have been pretty close recently. When's the holiday house party? We're not doing that, Reaper. Reaper, we are not having a holiday party. Apple trying to hold its 10? Yeah. Yeah, that's what you need to see. Yeah, very, very boring day. I like snow and Apple. UPSC I tried a little bit, but I'm out of that now. I don't want that anymore. Holiday week, kind of down to just let things chill, you know? There's no reason to start pushing things too aggressively. No reason at all. I like DG, though. DG could be fun. This is a filthy looking setup here. It's like the Oracle post-earnings consolidation. I mean, this one, again, this is another one. Like this post-earnings move that we were talking about with you guys, 700%. Okay. OKTA, that could be an interesting one. I like that base. That's interesting. You clear this, you could have some fun on that. Especially with where's IGV? Like, software looks good. I like snow a lot. Yeah, I'd like for Apple to hold this 10 here. What else? Where's Chipotle? How's that looking? Still looks great. That one still looks great for you guys. I mean, you could really sling this, but like first target's 57. Celsius. God, this one's choppy, man. I don't really like this one. That's why I didn't touch it this time. It's just been so choppy. Pepsi. I don't like, I mean, it looks good for a base. The problem is like, if, okay, let's say you get this really big move and it actually does break out from this base. It's like, okay. 17% on equity. I'm like, yeah, it's almost not enough meat on that bone for me to be interested in it, you know? The options might move really well. So the play actually might be Gordon to have the leaps on it and not shares. Look at how slow this market is today, man. It's a tortoise. It's going nowhere. Killed it on Sofi. There you go, man. There you go, Nicky Ricky. Yeah, I've been saying it. Upside from SPY at some point today? I mean, I don't really care what it does, honestly. I mean, if you can crack above 62, 40, 50, yeah. I mean, you could get some upside there, but I'm really expecting this market to not do a whole lot on a holiday week unless you get some crazy trade deal news that the market reacts positively to. Other than that, I mean, I don't really care what it does intraday. I like how we're looking on snow. You killed it on the IONQ and SMCI calls this morning? Nice. Yeah. Well, SMCI was that weekly breakout that we've been talking about for a while. That one still looks good. I just don't like that it has earnings coming up too quick. And if you want to, if in a weekly breakout, I'm going to need more time on these options anyway. But IONQ was one that we were looking at here too. Yeah, you didn't really get that follow through, but this on the weekly looks really nasty. Like that started to look really good on the weekly. Pep, I just talked about Pep, Randy. I'm not going to talk about it. Like I talked about it like probably 2 minutes ago. The options on it for leaps could be interesting, but I will not buy shares of that one. Let's see. Ooh, 11 likes from 50. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're moving on up. But yeah, remember, today's the last day too to get 50% off your for your first 2 months to the group with code June. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. If you miss out, no 1,000%ers for you. Yeah, we need Apple to hold here. But this one, if this one ends up firing, this could be a really nasty one right up to the 200. So I'm watching. It's not the best setup, but it's kind of getting there. IONQ leaps, I wouldn't. I would, with things like that have done this, you're going to be wildly overpaying for that. Yeah, this market's just not going anywhere. It can't get any steam up or down. We've just been flat in this range for like the last hour. Yeah, remember, I do these streams for you guys every day at 10:30. Obviously, in the morning, I'm live with the Less Trades, More Profits group privately, and then after that, I come on here for you guys. So make sure you guys have notifications turned on for the channel. I should be able to get a YouTube video out for you guys today, too. So make sure you guys are aware of that. And then, yeah, we'll keep doing what we're doing. It's been a really, really fun stretch over the last few weeks here. So, last few months. So, again, we were talking about this a lot last week. It's like, when we continuously have these big stretches, you got to be more picky with what you're doing in the market because you have to continue focusing in on what you've done to get yourself up to this point and then keep doing things like that. It's not the time to be like, oh, maybe we'll take a risk here, do that. Nope. You got to be more picky. That's why we're able to extend these, like, I don't want to call them streaks, but like these runs that we have for so long. Because we're just laser focused on the very, very simple things that we're looking for. And if it doesn't look perfect, we don't touch them. Slow market means more consolidation. More consolidation equals great setups. Great setups equals more money. Yes, Michael. That's what I'm excited for. Like this week, I mean, the market can do whatever it wants. I'm not really looking to do a whole lot on a 4th of July holiday week anyway. But once we get into next week, that's when we start really focusing on, okay, what are the details of these trade deals actually going to be? how's that going to affect the market, and where could we go going into the end of the month with markets at all-time highs, with epic setups most likely for me. You know? Keep it simple, guys. Where's my Sofi? Are we still up there? Yeah, 1863. Oh, if only somebody was telling you guys about this one for the last 2 weeks here. 3 weeks. I mean, you can do that if you want, Gordon, but like December, you're gonna go through earnings. Like, you're really playing a different game here. Like, those like mid-term options there, it's like it wouldn't be what I would do. Just saying. Like, that's just not what I would do. You know? Like, I'm not interested in doing that. Like, you have the weekly breakout here. If it hits over the next 2 months, great. If it doesn't, whatever. I'm not really looking to be like, okay, well, we're going to go into December, cover 2 earnings, have a debit spread. It's like, you know, you're just kind of overcomplicating it at that point. You know? It's like a lot, once you really see what we're doing, it's like it ends up being very simple. It's like you don't have to be like, okay, well, debit spread, then we're going to cover 2 earnings, then we have to do more fundamental analysis with the company. Then we also, since we're going to be holding for the longer period of time, you also have to rope in macro to it. So then it's like, okay, what's going to happen with rates? Is the Fed actually going to flip? Like, you know, like you're getting a little bit more complicated, and it's like, well, you don't have to do that. I wish somebody had told me to buy Novo in the low 60s. You're welcome. Yeah, I still like that one a lot. Where is it right now? Is that back at 70? No, 68. It's fine. This thing's going to chop down. I mean, that's a very bearish setup on this one for me right now after this move down. If I kind of hope they send this down even lower to the low 60s so I can buy a bunch more of it, you know? It's like when I'm trading these setups, guys, I'm really just kind of aware of what's happening for like just the short-term ones. For like the next 2 or 3 weeks, looking at the market from a probability perspective and being like, okay, where are we right now? What are the things that can influence the market? And what is the likelihood that those are going to continue to go in a way that are going to benefit the positions that I'm looking at? When I come out and tell you guys, all right, guys, foot off the gas, we really don't need to be doing anything right now, that's the kind of thought process that I go through to get there. You know? You don't have to make the market that complicated, because it's not. Especially the post-earning strategy. That thing is just ridiculous. Like, that one is just so disgusting. I love that one. I can't wait for earnings season. And you guys, we're going to come on stream some days and like after the private stream with you guys, and I'm going to be like, guys, look what we just did again. Like the last 3 were what? Dollar General 700%, Zscaler 800%, Oracle, they hit 1500%, but I sold the rest of them at 1200%. Okay, how many more of how many of those do you need? Not very many. And then there's the 300% ARM, and then the Amazon, and then the Datadog, and then the Tesla, and then the Nvidia, and then the Sofi, and then you know. The best part about it too is I think the big problem that a lot of people will have is when they go and operate in the market in a way that's not what we do, is like they'll have positions that like make them some money, but then they're just going to have other positions that just completely wipe out all of those gains. And the way that we do things, it's almost impossible for that to happen over the long run if you're looking at the market from the way that I talk about it. It's like, okay, worst case scenario, you're probably, unless there's a gap, which is very rare. The last time that I got, DG, I kind of got gapped. Little bit. But the big gap that went against me was Affirm. But that was the last one in like the last year and a half. So aside from that, you're probably only going to be looking at a maximum 20 to 25% down on some of these trades. Even if you were to just hold till 100% every single time, and that's the max that you're going to be losing on some of these trades, that's called a 1 to 4 risk to reward. You need a 20% win rate to make money over time. Just simple math. And then you hit a post earnings and make 1,500%, and then you have to lose the next 14, 15 trades in a row to just go back to break even, which is not going to happen. Well, I don't want to say it's not going to happen, but it's highly unlikely. Hey, you're fish hooking here a little bit. Yeah, again, if you get above, it's still that same level there, that 62.43. If you get above there, you shift that trend. You could look for some upside in the market here. Where's snow? Is snow starting to peak back up? No, snow's kind of got a mind of its own here. Yeah, let me see. I'll throw that link in here for you guys too. It's pinned to the top of the live chat, but make sure you guys use code June as well to make sure you're getting 50% off your first 2 months. Here you go. Good call, but just getting blown out selling covered calls. Wanted to get some. Yeah, so Gordon, a lot of people, you'll look at like YouTube videos, you'll do stuff. It's like understanding that you do have the ability out there to sell options against either a cash pile or your shares that you own is a good thing to know, but it shouldn't be like the core of a strategy because it doesn't make sense every single week or every single month to be selling calls against or puts against cash piles or share positions. Like the reason why, the last time that I sold a bunch of covered calls on something, I'll show you guys where it was. It was AMD up here, like in this area when we were getting towards 200. Why was I doing that? Well, I was also selling shares of this thing, but I was like, you know, I also could just use, like, I could just take a free chunk of money out of this. And if AMD continued to 240, I would continue to make even more money from that year of time to the expiration on those covered calls. And then you have things like where I start selling puts on like Palantir or Hood. And it's just looking at a time, really, this is how I look at it. For the selling put side, it's like, I'm willing to buy shares kind of near these prices, but I'd like to make it a little bit better on myself and just collect a little bit of premium in the meantime, because if I'm already going to be using that cash, if it's, let's say it's like earmarked, I'm like, okay, I already know I'm going to be using this cash to go buy shares. It's like, might as well sell calls or sell puts and collect a little bit of premium as I'm getting ready to go buy. Now, you guys have seen this happen many times. If I start selling puts on something, that's usually a big buy signal because we were doing it at Palantir at 14. The other one was like, what, Hood at 30? I had the 28 strikes that I wanted to get exercised on, and then it's, what's Hood now? 90? Jesus. That's no fun. But again, it's not like a thing that you want to be doing all of the time. Because then if you want to keep the shares, then you have to buy the calls back, then you have to roll them, then it's just like, then it's just a hassle, you know? I'd rather keep it simple. I'd rather buy really good companies with solid earning potential that can easily start moving to the upside and trade in a way that's very simple that everybody can and will understand and be able to execute that way, you know? ES is flipping up here. That's interesting. Yeah, Apple's not moving though, is it? No, Apple's not wicking up. I need this thing, in order for me to stay interested in this, I need this to wick above the 10 today. Like, I'd be sort of interested if it held here, but then I would think to myself, all right, if the market's turning higher here, Apple's down 0.6% on a day where the market's up. Apple's obviously a big weighting in the overall market. Like the market, like the S&P. Well, then if it does get the break, in my mind, it could have a higher likelihood of failing, so I might want to be more careful with it. Etsy looks good for the downside. Yeah, see, I don't know if I want to really be looking at downside setups here with the market at all-time highs. I would actually just be waiting for this one to kind of base and then flip, you know? Romeo, what's up, man? How you doing? I really like how this AMD chart is starting to develop, though. That's going to be one that we start looking for in the group over the next 2 weeks. But you guys will hear me talk about this. Like, it's not like I'm looking for a trade in the next 10 minutes. Like, I'm like, okay, which charts are looking good that could end up setting up for us to look at this month, you know? Yeah, we're about $2 away on snow here from that break. I'd like it to not do it today, and then you get another day, and then you could really crank it to the upside. UPST is one that I will still look at here too. Just kidding. I probably won't. I'll probably leave that one be. Yeah. Ooh, 7 likes away from 50. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. We do have that 100 like goal today, but I don't think we have enough time for you guys to get us up there. Michelle, welcome to the group, everybody. I want to see you guys go into market chat. Give Michelle a nice warm welcome over there. Hopping in. Getting in at the last second for that 50% off your first 2 months deal. Congratulations. We're going to get you going with us. Yeah, hopefully I feel better tomorrow. I'm just like run down, sick. I felt kind of icky yesterday too when we were doing stuff, and I was like, eh. Then I had to like stay for dinner. I got back late, and I didn't sleep enough last night. So I think tonight will be fine though. Lulu, I looked at it and I thought it might have bottomed. Yeah. This was the, or well, it was really the next day I saw this, last Tuesday. Where I was like, I think Lulu bottomed. Actually, when did I send that message? Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. Hood is over 90 now? Oh my god. Yeah, I gave Hood to you guys in the teens as well. We talked about that one a lot last year on the streams. Down in here. Oh wait, no, this is 2024. Yeah, down in these areas here. Oh my god, do you guys remember yen intervention? All the stuff with the Japanese yen? That was fun. Yeah, snow is probably going to be one that we look for. Where is Amazon here? No, this is kind of what I was worried about and why I ditched the rest of this one on Friday on that nice gap up. It just doesn't like to follow through. It's a great trade, though. I'll take that free money. That was awesome. And then where did actually ARM end up today? Did that flip? No, I'm happy I'm fully out of this one now. This first purple line was our entry. I think first scale out was here. Well, right around 156.30. Second scale out was 161. And then we had a third scale out that I was looking for today at 168.44, and we were, what, 10 cents away? The options weren't moving, and we didn't hit the alert. So then as it started coming down, I just sold the rest of them in the 200% range. I was like, that's fine with me. Give me my money back. You know? Hood is just on a ripper. Where's Sofi right now? Is Sofi pushing back up? 1858. Nothing crazy, but still looks good. Still looks good. Yeah, make sure you guys have notifications turned on for the channel too. I should be able to get a YouTube video out for you guys today as well. And then yeah, I do these streams for you guys every day at 10:30. So if you guys want to come back, I'd love to have you here. It's fun. I like hanging out with you guys. It's a good group we have here on these streams. Oh, Sergio, welcome to the group, man. On Hood. Master Alpha says, excellent group. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Kava last week, super long term. I like Kava. The food. I'd have to look at their valuation again, but I mean, down here, I kind of probably would have liked it, but at one point, they were like valued at like some ridiculous. Like, if you looked at like per store they had, it was like some crazy number. It was like up here. We traded this thing a lot down in here. Kava was a very fun name to trade in 24. Daniel, nice. Yeah, Hood was, it's over. Yeah, I'd have to look at it again because, like, I remember playing this thing back here and I was like, well, in the 50s, technically, I was interested in this one, but 10 million a store? Yeah, I think at one point it was like 30 million a store or something crazy. Hood 91. Damn, man. All right, you're flipping that area right now in the market. So you get a candle close above here, you might see a little bit of a push into these pre-market highs. snow's pulling up a little. Let's see. All right, guys. It's 10 or 11:45. We are going to be wrapping it up here for today. Again, congratulations to all of you guys that have just been absolutely just hammering these trades over the last few weeks. Special shout out to those of you guys that are getting in at the last second to the Less Trades, More Profits community today. For those of you guys that are interested, again, the link's floating around in the live chat. It's pinned to the top. Use code June. You guys can hop in there, get access to all of the full-length educational course curriculum videos, the daily private live streams, the pre-market plans, the full watch list of stocks and cryptos that are about to explode before they do. I actually might go through the crypto list today and see if I can find some stuff, because with the way that Bitcoin looks, there might be some gems in there that you guys that like to trade crypto can go out and nail. What else? Macro research reports, single stock research reports, weekly market research reports that are probably going to come back not this weekend, but the next weekend. And direct access to me. Answer all your questions all the time. But team, make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. I'll have a YouTube video out for you guys later today. But other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to try and rest up, make sure I feel better for tomorrow, because the energy levels were a little lower today. Sorry. I apologize. But we should be good.